Hey, welcome back to our channel, and this is another video, and we are going to continue from where we left, and we are going to start writing some codes. And you see the VS Code, the code editor I told you to download. And this class we are going to cover PHP. So at the end of the class, you'll be able to understand what is PHP, how to run simple PHP code, and what is the standard you need to memorize, because like in programming you need to know some keywords in order for you to navigate through codes. So without further ado, let me go and start writing some code. So I want to make a few clarification here. So right now I assume that you have downloaded XAMPP, and you have also downloaded this VS Code. The screen you see here is the same screen you can have on your machine. So I assume you have it. So and I'm going to create an index file here. Dot. So you dot .php, index.php is the files you need. So now this is the standard of how PHP works. So you need to write the file name, then dot php, and that's how the machine is able to know that you are running PHP. So with that in mind, so now we can start writing our code. So how does PHP work? So how do we really handle the PHP, and how do we make sure that um, computer is able to understand that this is PHP language? Well, the first things you need to understand is that these extensions is called extension. So everything has what we call extension. So it is like Microsoft Word, it has some extension. If it is Microsoft Excel, it has some extension that is going to tell the machine that it is the Microsoft Excel document. But now for this case, it is PHP document. So the extension is clarified by the dot, then you add the extension to your file. So my file's called index, so you can call it whatever you want, but make sure that it has the end that is .php. So if you have done it right, so now you can see that this small elephant here, and that is the symbol of PHP. The VS Code editor is clever enough to know that, hey, this file is PHP. Okay, I'm going to use the right icon to represent that this is the PHP file. Okay, enough of explanation about PHP and how you name the files and the extension to make sure that your computer can understand that this is a PHP file. So now once you are in the files, we have this thing. So we have this, so that this is how we start every PHP program. So every PHP program should start with this small line, and that's where I said like you need to memorize some keywords in order for you guys to start writing some code. So something you see on the screen is something you need to memorize. Okay, the first thing. Again, if you have a question, if you have any question, please feel free to use the comment section so I can be able to explain to you what is going on. Okay, so now we have our PHP files, and this is how it should start. And we are going to do a simple thing. So every programmer should print this line, hello world. So this is the first line you need to run in every programming language. So don't ask me why, but I know every programmer should say hello world. Okay. It is not mandatory, but of course you can put anything you want. So this is to tell our program that, hey, please print something on the screen, and these somethings happen to be hello world. So then open the terminal. How do we open the terminal? I think you don't know, right? So the thing you do, you press Control. If you are on Mac, you press I don't remember the Mac, so it's just has been a while not using the Mac, but it's maybe the command. Oh yes, I remember. Press Command if you're on Mac, and if you're on Windows, press Control P, then Command P, then write terminal. Then is this is going to open new terminal. So go to the second option, which is opening the terminal. So this is how I'm able to open the terminal, and you can see that this terminal is jumping right to where my file extension is. So I'm going to run this, and I'm going to use PHP. Remember, you have installed XAMPP, and if you have installed XAMPP already, you have this command called PHP, and now you can run PHP, and you add the index files here, and you can hit enter on your keyboard, then you are ready to see the hello world on the screen. All right, I don't like this terminal. I'm going to use the integrated terminal, which is this one. It's the same. The same result is the same as you can use any terminal. So now you know how to open a terminal from this VS Code. If you don't know, please use the comment section so that you are not left behind. So that is important. So you need to make sure that you follow along this class so that you don't left behind. Okay, so now we know how to open the terminal, and now we're going to, let's do another practice. So we want to run this file, so so we want to make sure that we can see this hello world on the screen. So how do we do it? We do PHP and we do index. We add the file name here, and we press enter. Then you can see that the hello world is able to be printed on the screen. All right, so and now this is the general overview of how you can run the PHP program. So this is our program. So every files you have, like you can have a project, but we are not there yet. But right now you have one file, and that one file is going to be your program. Okay, and that is what our program is doing. Is just printing the hello world on the screen. Okay, I understand you can say like this is bullshit. This is something I already know, right? This is nothing new. But I understand your feelings. So the point is not to be genius writing a lot of line of code right now. The important things I want you to focus on is the structure. Like how do we start a PHP program? So we know now that we need to have these things. So these things can change. These things can change, right? So it can change, but this one here will never change. Okay, so if I can put it in perspective, is that this is the keyword, and this is what it's stating as like this is PHP, and this is where we write our codes. So codes can be different according to what you want to achieve. For example, let's say someone told you like, hey, I want to add two numbers, but I don't know how to add these two numbers. Could you write a program that is going to help me, add two numbers? All right. So you say, all right, I know how to write a program, and I'm going to say number one. And this is number one. And what is this? So let me explain. In computer program, we have what we call variables. All right. And a variable is something that you use to store the value across your computer program. So we know that we need to add two numbers. So how do we add these two numbers? We need to have them, right? So we need to save these numbers into a variable. So we need to say, okay, the first number, we are going to create this variable. We are going to create this variable and we are going to save this value into this variable. So if you go into computer memory, you can see that this variable is already declared in computer memory, and that's how things really work. So then we create number two, because remember we need to add two numbers, so we need to define two numbers. Okay. Now, then we have our variable and it holds some values. Now, which is the time to use our mathematical knowledge to add these two numbers, right? And the way we do it, so let's say like we need to print this to the screen. So we can do that. We can use echo. Remember, we have seen that echo can be used to print something whenever we want to print it. And we're going to say number one. What do? We use plus sign to, you know, to add the second number. Okay, that's what we do. And if I learn it again, you can see that I have the sum of these two numbers. Okay, now you can see that something really that has changed is this line of code, but this one didn't change. So because it is a keyword and it is the one that is helping us to tell the computer that this is a PHP program. So now we know how to add two numbers and how we can do anything we want. We can divide here and it's going to work the same. You can see that we have you know this one here. We can even multiply if you want, and we are going to have the result. So this is the basic of you understanding the PHP and the small functions or small operations you can do in order to perform a specific task. So now you understand the basics. So those are the basic actually. Let me clear that some. Those are the basics. So how do we really go from the basic to something, to a computer program, to a website, to something really amazing? So I know when I started learning computer program, I really wanted to build Facebook. Yeah, I think that was my inspiration story because like uh, every time when I saw Facebook, really, I thought of like, why can't I build the same thing? And I went to like I remember I didn't have a computer and I had to go to U.S. embassy uh, and to borrow a computer. And back the time, like you cannot execute any computer program on their machine. So because you cannot even plug the USB, drive to their computer. So what I had to do was to go there and write, do some search on Google and how things works, and after I write some code on paper, then go back home and maybe borrow the computer to my friend and execute the code that I have learned back from the US embassy. So back the time now, I really wanted badly to build the Facebook. Like I wanted to know how these things work. How do we have this button here? How do we have these this color, these things? Like you see the Facebook, like you wanted to know how everything really worked. And when I was running programming, I really like everyone really was teaching me the basics, like how you can add these two numbers, Like when are we going to learn how to create something like Facebook? So well, that is not something that you can get from a class. So what it means really is you need to have the basics, and you need to start from there, and maybe if you are lucky enough, you can teach yourself the the rest, and that's where really this class is going to be different compared to the other class, because we'll be doing something really uh, that is uh, that is not like the normal class, because we'll be doing something uh, tangible, something that you can present, something that can help you to be a good engineer. So that's what I wanted to finish this class about. So basically, the class will be structured into two formats. I could be having the 20 minutes of coding, and we'll be having 10 minutes of like chatting, and you can ask questions. And that's why I'm going to send the invite for someone who want to ask questions, so that I can give you the opportunity to ask questions, because I want this class to be more interactive, and and so that we can like, if you have a question, if you have a concern, I can even give you the option to present what you've written, so to make sure that we are on the same page. So like the first 20 minutes would be me coding and explaining the code base that we are writing. Another 10 minutes will be for you guys to share what the progress, to make sure that you have the same progress as what we have, and also for you guys to be able to ask questions. So I have already sent the link to people who are on this stream. So if you don't see it, so let me add also the link. So, but okay, I cannot share the link to the comment section, because after the stream, the link will be obsolete. So I don't want to share it. So if you're watching it, make sure that you DM me, you write to me to the comment section, so I can add you to the group, where I can share you the link while we are in a session. So other than that, so if there's no questions, so if like 2 minutes is going to pass me talking alone without any questions, I'm going to end the stream right now. But for summary, what we covered for this video is how we can run a simple PHP program. So like the next class, these are the basics. So I hope like the next class should be having these basics of how to create a file, how you execute it. Then we can start from there. So and the important things, guys, is just to make sure that we start small, and from small steps we take every day, every 2 days, and you are not left behind. That is the key point. Then because after like 1 week or 2 weeks, will be like somehow somewhat advanced. So that's why it is so important. It's so important for us to make sure that if you are taking the class, you make sure that we are on the same pace. If we are not, make sure that you comment, you ask questions, you make sure that I don't go beyond to what we want to cover, and how the progress like everyone is having. And of course, if you're watching the video after the stream is completed, okay, let me add one the streamer. Maybe you can share this so we can see the progress, like everyone on the same page. Yes, I think one of the one of the person who wanted to show his progress is not able to achieve it. I'm going to wait until like we're still having 8 minutes left, so I'm going to wait because I understand sometimes it can be a little bit challenging. It can be a little bit of tricky, but I understand that. So the point I was saying is that we need to make sure that we're on the same line, we're on the same pace. Because I'm a developer, because I'm a software engineer, I can be ahead of myself. I can be ahead of you guys. But really, what I want is just to make sure that the speed I'm having is not the highest speed. I'm not going ahead of myself, ahead of you guys, because like I've seen a lot of tutorials, a lot of people who are teaching. They assume that everyone is on the same pace, which is not, which is not. So I'll be trying to make sure that I involve you in the class so that I can see your progress, so I can see where you are struggling. So, and this is why I want you guys to use the community, the comment sections, use it to the maximum so that we can make sure that you ask questions so that at the end of these 3 months, maybe you become the software engineer. And I'll be happy just to see the community also growing. Think about it. If you can share the comment, if you can ask questions, other developers will be joining and learn from what we have done. So, and that's why I want just to go through and make sure that the class we have at specific day is the class that covered something that you can also understand. So that's why I want to cover a lot of things at the same times. So step by step, involves you guys, ask questions, know that we are on the same pace, and if we are, then we can use what we call compound interest. Like we can move slowly and adding one things by one, and at the end of the day, we can become software engineers. So I think he was not able to share his his screen, but maybe next time to work, I assume. So with that, I will still have 6 minutes to receive any comment or questions so I can answer. But yeah, I promised you that I committed myself to helping you guys to become a software engineer. Because if I am a software engineer, is that you can become also a software engineer. That is nothing really fancy. There's nothing really different, and I hope that we can create, world class software engineers. That's what I'm looking for, and and the opportunity cost, is just slow. It's just not that much. Okay, let me add him to the stream. So you can share the screen so that we can see the progress.
Hey, Rich.
Hey, yeah, you can share the screen so that we can see the progress. Cause like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want this
Sorry,
class.
yeah, sorry. I'm using my phone. My browser is not supported.
Okay, okay, I see. Yeah. So are you using Chrome?
I need to download Chrome.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow. But um uh, let me see if I can. So unfortunate. I can't
Yeah,
change.
it's okay. It's fine. Like the next class would be Saturday because it is like every 2 days.
Mm,
I hope maybe you'll be having Chromebook. I mean Chrome, not Chromebook. So you'll be
yeah.
having Chrome. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
because
So
like
mm,
the point is just to make sure that we are on the same page.
that's right.
Yeah, and also make it more interactive, like so that who will watch the stream at the end will also be having something he's learning.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, true. But it's so unfortunate. I couldn't write any code today. I got lost.
I
Hello? Hey, Rich.
Was I moving too fast? Yeah, you can share the screen so that it's obvious because like
Yeah,
I want
yeah.
to discuss.
Hello?
Yeah, I was asking like was I moving too fast? Like why did you lost?
Like the first thing I heard,
Yes,
you just create a file, if I'm not mistaken.
yes, you create a file. Yes,
Mm-hmm. So that's what I actually did. Mm, I went to new file,
yes.
then um, I renamed the file, but nothing happened.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is where sharing the screen will be much more helpful to
Mm,
everyone. And I understand sometimes a lot of people why they fail at beginning because the beginning of becoming a developer is
mm,
crazy hard. Like you don't know what you are making it wrong and so forth.
mm.
Yeah. So did you download the XAMPP,
Yeah, I have Zamp and the other code editor.
the VS Code? Yes.
Mm,
Yeah, that is perfect. That is the good start. So maybe by Saturday, we'll be
mm.
starting by seeing the progress first and see first correcting where you are to make sure that we are on the same page.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
So, yeah, otherwise, I think that is a good progress. So see you Saturday.
All right.
Yeah. So is this the right time? Because like I wanted the time where everyone is not at work.
Mm,
Because I also have a normal day job, so I have to do it at 8.
yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. So and I think it's just like if the community can grow, it can benefit a lot of people because it doesn't sabotage with the normal operations or how people really are working.
Hmm.
Yeah. See you
Yeah, yeah.
next time, bro.
All right. See you, Rich. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. All
Yeah, thank you.
right. Bye.